we still have committed no crimes.
Yeah.
That's not the proof of life video you put out. That is not it. Something's
No.
real fishy about this.
Do you think that he may have committed some crime, like that maybe leaving the wife and kids wasn't the intent, that it was guilt of something else?
I didn't think about that, but it could be.
That's interesting. Um, Hello, welcome back to the Friend of Zeus podcast.
Friend. I am friend.
The only true Friend of Zeus podcast.
Hmm.
Um, Tonight we're doing episode 198. I won't say it, but it is impressive.
We're doing a twofer.
What's that?
We're doing a twofer.
Yes, we are. This should be a Nurses RN episode.
Well,
Um,
we gotta have a
Tonight's
fish
episode
fry.
198. Everybody's bailed tonight, so Des and I are gonna go into one of our little uh, things we enjoy to talk about, which is true crime. Um, Des will have the reins as far as what we're talking about, but I've been made privy to what we're talking about, and I'm familiar with all except the third one, but it certainly is intriguing. And I'm not sure the guy should be. Well, we'll get into
We'll
it,
get
but
into it.
yeah.
First of all, today is a Tuesday, November the 26th. So that means in 2 days it'll be Turkey Day. Turkey
Yep.
Day. Gobble gobble.
Oh.
Um, yeah, do you like Thanksgiving? Do you like the
Um, I constantly bitch and moan about it because I do all the cooking,
hmm
and the only help I get is instruction on how to do it, which infuriates me because I've done it for going on 20 years now. I
hmm
think I got it. I don't
Yeah.
think I need your input. Um, and really, what I like to do is just cook all this shit and have everybody outside of the house, except if I need them to go get stuff. But no, I'll have to go get stuff.
Mm.
Anyway, I love it's one of my favorite holidays because it's just about decadence. It's just about eating and drinking and talking some shit, watching some football. It's a great holiday.
Yeah.
Um, no gift giving. That's fine. I can live without that.
I'm like, I'm so on Thanksgiving. I don't cook. I mean, I have cooked before. I've had the privilege of hosting a couple times in my life, but um, you usually we go to my uncle's house, and my uncle is just a funny ass dude. Like he he's the kind of guy that laughs at himself. He'll just be telling a funny story and just also will laugh at the funny story. And it's wonderful. So everyone's laughing, everyone's having a good time. My family, though, we're all very loud. And so it is very tiring after a day of that because I like everyone's like they're doing that thing where they're like loud at one octave and then like someone's got to go. And then next thing you know, we're all just screaming and we're just like just having a normal conversation, but at the top of our fucking lungs. Oh, Craig, the first time he ever came over to
Yeah.
my family's house, he was like, I'm gonna need a family tree diagram. And also, I have a headache. And then he nicknamed like one of my
It sounds
cousins. He nicknamed one of my cousins Wacky Waveable Inflatable Arm Taryn because he said that he reminds me of her one of those fucking tubes that ooh, ooh, just because she's
you,
crazy.
you ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yeah, that's where I think he got it
Jesus.
at. Ooh, ooh, ooh,
That
ooh,
show
ooh.
is so funny. We could do a whole episode on that and just show clips and we'd be laughing our asses off. That's,
Well,
my thing about Thanksgiving is it's kind of what you said. It often ends up being a loud engagement. And Christmas, one of the better things about Christmas is you having kids, you'll appreciate this, is you give them their toys and they go off and they're entertained. And
mhm.
probably it's the one time a year they leave you alone the most, short of needing batteries or putting something
Or
together.
opening
Yeah,
impossible packaging. Yeah.
yeah. But Thanksgiving is like politics,
Oh
football.
yeah.
It's usually not rage filled, but there's a lot of tension on
I think
Thanksgiving.
it's because everyone's hangry, waiting for that food to get done.
Yeah. Now, have you had? I learned a valuable lesson one Thanksgiving in that drink after you eat all the turkey.
There's
Because,
no alcohol at my family's house,
oh
so
no,
that's not even a factor.
oh no. So you don't slip out to
No.
have
I
glass.
have I have a family full of addicts of anything and everything out there. So I can't they would know. They would know.
They smell it on you.
They'd be like, "What the fuck did you just do out there, huh? You know,
Yeah,
you can't be doing that shit in this house."
I remember one Thanksgiving I go to my uncle's house. He's a cool guy. He's a lot of fun. Um, but I got hammered, and this was all before the turkey came along. Had I
Mhm.
had the turkey, probably not so hammered. I woke up face painted because he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
Just it was brutal. It was humiliating, and ever since I reserve my drinking for after I've eaten a ton of fucking turkey and
Yeah.
mashed potatoes.
See, I'm
But
not really a fan of Thanksgiving food. Like I like it, but I'm not eating turkey
the juice ain't worth
sandwiches.
the squeeze. I
No. The
if
turkey's never the turkey is never that good. I'm just
I
saying.
you know what, you
It
might have to
depends.
try.
We have one of those oilless turkey fryers. That thing makes a good turkey. But like other than that, it's
I
just
don't
not.
do all those games. I don't brine it. I'm very simplistic with how I do it. I soak it in butter. I'm constantly doing this squeezy thing, whatever you call it.
The baster.
Yeah, the baster. I'm constantly basting it. I go even the thermometer. I get the one that it pops and you know it's ready. Done.
Yeah.
As low impact as possible because I cook everything.
hmm
I think the wife makes cranberry sauce that takes like 6 minutes to prepare, and then you just put it on the stove and boil it for a day. It feels like, but yeah, I'd really like to have a nice Thanksgiving where I didn't have to do anything.
Yeah. I like Christmas food a lot better.
Same food.
It's not the same food. We don't do the same food.
Well, often a turkey. Sometimes
No,
I
we
hit.
do like a like other stuff that's not turkey. Like
Okay.
what's that thing called? The thing that's the tenderloin.
Okay, that would be good. That would be great.
Or just like pizza or
Pizza, great.
enchiladas.
Um, we tend to do ham, a big ham, some black beans, more of a New Year's Eve kind of thing, but
hmm
consolidate where
You
possible.
ever get like a turkey from like a barbecue place? Like we have like Hog Wild or Two Brothers Barbecue. They have those
I'd
around.
love to buy a prepared turkey and not
Dude,
have to.
they are good. They're like 79 bucks.
I'm telling you, you'd like my turkey. I make a good turkey, and it's really
No,
like.
I don't like turkey.
I love turkey.
Just I mean, I like a deli meat turkey. But is that real turkey? Who we don't know. Jury's out. Um, so I don't know. It's too turkey. It's too turkey-y for me. So I have to have if I'm gonna eat a turkey and like really enjoy it, I need it to have more flavor than just fucking turkey flavor.
What I'd like
Like
to
the
have
smoky flavor or like
is
the
is
crispy
like
flavor.
a home kitchen level deli slicer
hmm
because I like a turkey sandwich. And honestly, the turkey that you cook, maybe it's just that I made it and I put this upon it, but I like my turkey. I make a good turkey. But I'd like to be able to. I don't like the sandwiches that you make after Thanksgiving are all like these. Just it's like bread around a drumstick. It's like it's
Yeah,
retarded.
no, I'm not eating a fucking Thanksgiving turkey sandwich. No, I'm not
Oh,
doing that.
I will in a heartbeat.
No.
But you need like a
Mm-mm.
sub roll for it.
You do. You do like a
Yeah,
hoagie roll.
you
No.
can't do it like Wonder Bread.
Mm-mm. But I always get I'm the pies. I'm bringing the pies.
Oh,
So that's my job. What I'm not hosting is pies. I'm on pie duty.
what's your favorite
So,
pie?
um, I don't really like pies. I don't really like pumpkin pie.
I hate
So
pumpkin pie.
pumpkin pie
Hate it.
is a one times a year deal. I'm not eating it any other time. I'm not like, oh my God, I can't wait for pumpkin pie.
You know my
I'm
go-to
not
is
a pumpkin spice girly. No.
yeah, pumpkin
But
pie.
I don't like fruit pies.
Um,
I do not like fruit pies. I'm allergic to nuts, so I cannot eat pecan pies.
poor Craig.
Craig, yeah, he's fine. But this year I have to bring I got to make a pecan pie. Which I'm like, hopefully I don't get itchy.
So
And
my pie, my go-to pie is cherry pie. I
then,
love cherry pie.
I mean,
Second
just
is
because I don't like them, I'm not. I mean,
no,
yeah,
no,
I'm gonna do a caramel apple pie this year, but I'm not gonna eat it. I just don't. I don't like
that was
pecan.
going to be my second. My second is an apple pie, but with like the I think it's called lattice, where it's
Hmm.
like you can see the apples
Yeah.
underneath. But the odd one, and most people don't like it, but I grew up on minced meat
Hmm.
pie, and that stuff is good.
I like cream pies. French silk pie.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I don't like those kinds, but lemon cream pie.
Okay. Oh yeah, yeah. No, all 10th grade humor aside, yeah, I like a cream pie as well.
Banana
And
cream pie.
actually, yeah, lemon cream pie, chocolate mousse pie is
I have
good.
to make my mom a fucking lemon meringue pie.
I don't like meringue.
I'm not a fan.
Good.
I mean,
I've
it's
been doing
okay, but I'm not like
meringue is
craving
stupid.
it.
Man,
Meringue's weird.
it's
It's a weird,
fluff and air. It
it's,
is dumb. It's dumb.
but I tell you what the secret to
Custard pie.
Thanksgiving pies is. Bring your ass to the fucking Whole Foods. You're gonna spend about $21 on a pie and the whipped cream that they
That's fine.
make, that they make. Not the packet, not the kind in
Well,
like the freezer section, but
well,
they package their own whipped cream.
we're fancy. We
That's the
actually make
best.
our own whipped cream.
Well, I know I can make my own whipped cream too, but I don't know what the fuck Whole Foods be putting in their shit. But
You don't have
they
Wegmans there?
no, we don't have it.
See, Wegmans is the bomb. That's why I'm not worried about a turkey because Wegmans, they got the turkey market cornered.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
I've heard Trader Joe's has some bomb ass fucking pumpkin pies.
I
But I
just
already bought my Whole Foods pies. Yeah.
I eat pumpkin pie so I can have the ice cream.
Yeah, the whipped cream, which is
Yeah.
basically ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we usually do vanilla ice cream with pumpkin pie. I can't I just don't like it. I don't like pumpkin. You know what I do like pumpkin wise?
Hmm.
I every Halloween after we do the pumpkins, I cook the
The
pumpkin
seeds.
seeds.
Yeah.
Those things are the fucking bomb.
Have you ever made a pumpkin pie out of a pumpkin?
Out of what?
A pumpkin? A pumpkin.
No, no, no.
Dude,
That's
it's
way
about
too
it's a
work
labor
involved.
of love.
Yeah,
I gotta
I
say, I
don't
did that once.
I don't love labor.
Mm.
So shall we get on to
Anyway, yes. Anyway,
our
yes.
riveting episode?
Yes. Okay. So
We,
I don't know what it is about November.
if we're gonna do a second show, I think even though I love the nurses are in, I really would like to be like a every month we do a true crime because I love me some true crime.
I
So
do too. It's just interesting. And my aspiring self, my 10-year plan, I want to be a criminal defense attorney. So
wow, okay.
um so okay. So I don't know what it was about November. October, November season. But like dang, there's been some trials, y'all. And some things happen in the true crime world.
There's another one I want to bring up that you didn't put on your list. Actually, two that I want to bring up that you didn't put on your list that you might know about, but we'll
Oh
go.
yeah, well I was just focusing on shit that's happened like within the month.
Well, DB Cooper, you know who DB Cooper
Yeah.
is? Yeah, that they said they found the. I'll just
They
as
didn't
a,
find shit.
they found a. I think the guy that they think it was him. Based on this story, they found a parachute on the property of one of the prime suspects. The family thinks it was him. Occam's razor, man. You
Well,
know, the shortest solution is quite often the right solution. And the other one is our boy from was it Idaho or
mm-hmm.
Rollberger? Apparently, I think we're going to start seeing some trial shit with him because they're saying that he
His
could get.
trial's October of 25.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but there, it sounds like they must have something because they're talking, death sentence and stuff now.
Yeah, I think that the actual latest that I heard on that was that they are going to put it to the jury to decide if what his like, you know,
He'll live. He'll live. Then juries never want
if
to.
yeah. Shit, take your ass to a Texas jury. Every time, death penalty. They'll kill your ass. They don't even care.
Well, yeah, that's Texas though. Texas
Yeah.
is a special animal.
But
So
anyway,
anyway, who's the first person we're going to talk
okay,
about?
the first one, which this case sparked a lot of controversy in the media. But Lakin Riley.
Hmm.
So this poor, sweet, innocent girl. She was like a 22-year-old college nursing student,
Oh,
um,
that
nursing student
brings
from
us here.
that was going to the University of Georgia. Um, yeah, and she was just, she and you know what says what and not that this matters, but she from everything that, I watched this trial, some of the stuff that her family was saying, like she was like a pure innocent girl. Like she loved Jesus. She just like she wanted to help people. Like she
Mhm.
just didn't ever do anything wrong. Just that kind of person.
And
Shit.
regardless, didn't deserve what happened to
No,
her.
I mean no,
Yeah, yeah,
it doesn't, but I'm just saying like just a beautiful soul.
right.
Um she goes out running one day, like she does like every day.
Oh, it's
And
her fault.
this totally. And she was wearing, as people who run do, tight-fitting leggings and a bra-esque top.
Oh, sounds like a
No, they actually never brought that up in that sense in the trial, which thank God. But anyway, so she was like running, she's running on the trail, and she's just going along, and this motherfucker just grabs her, drags her in the woods, attempts to rape her, is not successful, which I always thought before this trial, I thought that he had raped her, but he didn't. He was not able to. And then just murders her, like just killed her, left her just in the woods dead. Um, the thing that was controversial about this guy is that he was an illegal immigrant. So he was a part of the Venezuelan gangs, the ones that are causing all the problems,
yeah.
holding up the apartment buildings.
Hmm.
Now they're out there killing folks. And in fact, that morning that he went out and committed that murder, there was like another girl that they had this all on camera. This other girl that he was like peeping in her windows. Like I think that girl that he was like peeping on may have been like his first target, and then she I don't know, she can't remember how she like evaded him, but then he just like goes and then he just offs for Lakin.
She's the one that probably got them all frothy at the mouth and shady shady. And then he found the next
The
person.
next available target.
It I've said it before. I want to just go buy a cowl and a cape and a baseball bat and just pummel these people. It's like, God damn, rape is like so primal caveman. Like even cavemen didn't do it. You know what I mean? It's like
Well, I
it's
mean, it's definitely it's a power dynamic, and
yeah.
and so, whatever. But so he was it, you know how like when you're arraigned and stuff, you get your rights read to you, and you're like, yeah, you have a right
Yeah.
to jury by your peers. Da, da, da. So his defense team, they waived their right to a jury trial, so they had a bench trial because they had thought, well, first of all, this dude was guilty as fuck. They had every single bit of evidence that you would ever wish for
Hmm.
in a case. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my throat.
Okay.
And so the defense, I mean, they were just literally grasping at like anything that they could possibly help themselves out. And so their strategy there was, if this was a jury trial, there would be a lot of emotion kind of guiding their decision. And if it was a judge, just the judge had to make the decision, then he would definitely just go by like the law, not the emotion.
I say
But
they should be involved.
I mean, but then I don't think there's a benefit either way, to be honest, but whatever. So anyway, they did that. And so it was a very fast trial. This was like literally 3 days, this whole thing. Mainly because they don't really have a fucking defense. And they had a ton of fucking evidence. So they he his the her murderer's name is Jose Ibarra. And so during the murder, she like was, she fought him. Like it's so she had
Good
like
for
his
her.
DNA under her fingernails. They always tell you, girls, ladies, if you are ever getting attacked, you scratch and you fight and you bite and you do anything you can to leave mark something on you or something on them.
Yeah.
So yeah, she scratched the fuck out of him, DNA in her fingernails. Then they have him on camera throwing away the murder clothes. And then like her blood is on the hat that he was wearing. Like it just come on now. Guilty.
Let me guess. Did he not get the death sentence?
So I don't know if death was a is a law in Georgia,
You
honestly.
know, and
But
the way the
he
world's been over the last 4 years, I could totally see them trying to pull some. Well, he's not an American citizen, so we can't
well,
kill him.
I don't know. I don't know, but it doesn't really matter because so he had 10 total charges. He had like a bunch of shit. Malice murder was the main one, which malice murder is basically like first degree murder, like on steroids, you know? So malice murder, and then he had 3 counts of felony murder. So he committed 3 felonies on her, so he got 3 additional felony murder counts. So that's 4 murder charges right there.
Put him to death.
Kidnapping with bodily injury, aggravated assault and attempt to rape, aggravated battery, obstructing a person making an emergency call, and tampering with evidence. And then they also tacked on that peeping Tom charge. So he got, I think, a total of 4 life sentences to be served consecutively. And then like maybe
At
like
least he's not
25 extra
concerned.
years that was also consecutive to the life sentences. So he's never getting out and he'll
And
never have a chance for parole.
and rapists don't get treated well in prison as a
And I
rule.
hope they beat the fuck out of that dude.
Oh no, I hope they rape and kill him. Or no, rape and let him live until he's forced to kill himself out of desperation.
But
I
yeah,
I know that's harsh, but
I
um,
don't even care. That dude, fuck that dude.
yeah, yeah. Um,
Um,
I was looking at pictures, and she's just a tiny little thing,
yeah, she's like I said, she's just like this wholesome, like,
and he's a big. He looks to be about my size, like a big guy. I don't get it. I've never under. I can't get into the mindset of rape. I just can't. You go without. Done.
so
It's
they,
like you said, it is a power thing. I get it.
yeah, um, they, yeah, dude, he beat her. Oh my gosh, you know, it was really, is kind of fucked up. Like, you know, the whole thing is sad, but
Like
so
overkill.
she was wearing, no, she was wearing like one of those, like, you know, like Apple Watch or some type of, you know, the watches they will be wearing now that tracks your run, tracks your steps and your heart rate and your da da da. So that watch, they got the data off of that. They were able to mark it because she's like running along, right? Her heart rate's like, you know, 150 something, 140 something.
Right.
They were able to track the time at the exact moment when she was stopped and dead in her tracks because she was grabbed. And
Mm-hmm.
then 18, like it was 18 minutes from the time she was grabbed to the time her heart stopped. And they were able to like see the exact moment when her heart stopped. Like it was fucking crazy. Like that just, ugh, those
I
fucking
don't.
watches, man.
And like, what did Dad do in this situation? Because I'd be murderous. I got 2 boys. I got a little sweet little boy. He's not safe. Neither of my Ollie's probably safe because he's bigger than. Whoops, I shouldn't have said his name. My my oldest is safe. He's a big athletic kid. I don't worry about him. But I got a little boy, and there's a lot of creeps out there, and anybody could do anything. But I know this: I would walk the earth if anybody ever hurt either of my sons to make sure that the last minutes of their life were extremely painful.
Hmm.
Um, so I feel for the father in this situation too, and the mother, of course, but
Yeah.
dads and their daughters are a special bond.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, just a whole sad situation. So, like I said, this was all kind of in the midst of a presidential election. This took place in February of 2023. And
Mhm.
so this was you know, Joe Biden had addressed Lakin Riley in his State of the Union address, and then kind of fucking retracted what he said afterwards and had said that because he had used the word illegal immigrant in his speech. But
Mhm.
like the next day had said in some fucking news media had said something to the effect of that he should have said undocumented, not illegal.
Yes. That. Listen, I feel for a large portion of people that come across the border, but
He
call
was an
somebody.
illegal. This cat was illegal. This
Yeah.
was not an asylee. He
Yeah.
was an illegal immigrant.
Yeah.
I don't know how the fuck he got over here, but he done did it, and it
How about
wasn't by claiming asylum
the first thing he said was good, and then he actually takes back the good thing he said because of cowardice,
because of,
whatever.
yeah, political correctness. Political correctness, that is politically correct. He was illegal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Um,
We'll be having
so,
plenty of discussions about illegal aliens over the next year,
oh
two
yeah.
years.
So we don't have to beat that one over heads, but they did, there's some laws that are kind of, so the state of Georgia, they signed some on Wednesday, they signed HB 1105.
Mhm.
So this law in Georgia requires state and local officials to verify the immigration status of those over 18 who have been arrested, who are in, who are in detention, or those who an officer has probable cause to have committed a crime.
Mhm.
Um, so
So I
mm,
hope.
what was
I,
that one in Arizona a while ago? What was that law? Fuck, what was it?
I'm
Like
not
where
sure.
where like an officer could just ask you for your papers.
At this point, I don't find that to be a great violation. And sure, have hurt feelings. That's fine. I get it. Sue, see what you can get out of it. Whatever. But I
I mean,
mean,
this one's just saying that if you commit a crime and you're over the age of 18, you're gonna get fucking your papers are gonna get checked.
or how about if you're a criminal and you cross the border, you don't get to be here.
Yeah,
Done.
that should have happened. Dude, it's just like how JD Vance and that one chick when he was talking about these Venezuelan gang members that were taking over these apartment complexes. I think at that time conversation was Denver.
Mhm.
And it was like two apartment complexes that they had taken over. And and this chick was like, it's two buildings, like that's not that many buildings. And JD's like, do you hear it should have been none. It should have
Right.
been none.
Zero is the optimal number.
Yeah. Do you want to know how many American people have been murdered by illegal immigrants? 68 in the last year. It should have been none. You can
Right.
use the argument of like, oh, well, people here murder people too. Yeah, they do.
But
But you
they're
know what? They have the legal right to be here.
we don't ship them off to another country to kill people in the other country.
Exactly. We don't do that. We fucking
Yeah,
take care of our own and let the other prisoners take care of them too.
exactly. I hope he gets everything he deserves. It tends to be that my harshest thing that I can say about bad people is I just hope that they get exactly what they deserve.
They're comeuppance.
Yeah, comeuppance, indeed,
Comeuppance.
comeuppance.
So here's another law that this was started in March of 2024. So this is a House bill that is actually in the Senate right now. This bill requires the Department of Homeland Security to detain certain non-US nationals who have been arrested for burglary, theft, larceny, or shoplifting. This bill also authorizes the states to sue the federal government for decisions or alleged failures related to immigration enforcement or
Nice.
enforcement.
Not enforcement.
Enforcement, whatever. Enforcement. Enforcement.
We made a new word. Hey, everybody else is doing it. Why don't we?
Under this bill, the DHS must detain an individual who is one, unlawfully present in the United States or did not possess the necessary documents when applying for admission, and two, has been charged with, arrested for, convicted of, or admits to having committed acts that constitute the essential elements of burglary, theft, larceny, shoplifting. So, I mean, and I mean, if ICE doesn't get
Rape,
him,
rape, rape wasn't one of those.
well, no, no, because they're gonna already be detained. Like if you get arrested for those crimes,
Oh,
like
I see.
violent crimes, you're not gonna get released on like bail.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
so yeah, so they're gonna be detained. But these are these small like burglary, especially
Yeah,
um robbery, theft, those are all like precursor, like you can't
and
just the
burglary
more
and
you do
robbery
them.
easily turn into rape as well.
Burglary is always, You're not just burglaring. You're burglaring for a reason.
Exactly.
Burgling. So, I mean, hopefully that shit passes because I mean, come on. And yeah, if the ICE doesn't, or DHS doesn't live up to their end of the deal, states
So
can sue them.
I don't want to get too political, but the one thing that I'm hoping, and I'm happy Trump's in there. I'm getting tired of hearing the term mass deportation because I just don't like it. I think vetting them out is a better term to use because that's really what they're going to do. Trump's no fool. He's not just
Zeus,
going to.
there's 20 million
I
extra
understand.
motherfuckers here.
Right, I know, but
That's too many. That's too many
but
extra friends.
right, I
Okay.
get it. I get it. But also a lot of people, a large portion of those people are not criminals.
No, they're
And
not. But if you're here sitting on your ass, getting food stamps, not having a job, not doing anything
yeah,
with the
that
then
stuff
just
all
go
makes
back.
sense. Yeah, that's
I'm not saying that that's not okay to do that. That's not a judgment. What I'm saying is you're not doing anything productive here. Why don't you go back,
right.
figure it
Right.
out, come back later.
That's all good and fine. I just think their terminology should be a little more specific
Uh,
to how they're going to do things because we don't want to fuel the leftist uh antagonists. We don't want to give them ammo to fight with. So I think if even if it's just a semblance of vetting people to stay or leave, I think that's probably the better way to do it. Because every time they say mass deportation, I have this image of like a bulldozer just lifting people up and dumping them over the border, and
well,
I'm not
we
real
had a
keen.
mass importation.
Sure, I don't. I think it's going to be handled well. I do. I just let's keep the optics good too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again,
Well,
mass deportation just sounds ugly.
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Um, well, okay, so where's my mouse?
The
The
next
the
one, if
next one. Okay, now we're gonna start getting into like weird ass cases. Okay.
is
The
this
next
the
case.
subway guy?
No, not yet. So
Okay.
this is Sarah Boone. Sarah
Uh,
Boone. Sarah Boone. This bitch. So she killed her boyfriend by well, the story goes that she and her boyfriend were playing a drunken game of hide and seek.
I've heard of this story. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Go
so
on.
she somehow, I mean, when you're playing hide and seek, what's the point of that game? You hide and they seek. You don't help them hide and then try to find them. That's not how that game goes. So, I'm still over here wondering how the fuck this guy got in this suitcase. Like he had anyway, we'll get to that in a second. So, somehow she zips him up inside of a suitcase. Okay? I don't know, it's part hide and seek.
This is a dark story.
And suitcases are only, it's like, how you have a set of suitcases? It's like a big suitcase, like that size.
Yeah.
I mean, can you fit in a suitcase?
Well,
And
I'm
I'm talking about a living person. I'm not
yeah.
talking about a chopped up individual. I'm talking about a guy, a person. Like, I don't know. Anyway, so he gets in the suitcase and she zips it up. Then he discovers he can't breathe. Well,
We know how that works out.
eh, fuck, famous last words. So, then she decides that she's gonna heckle him and
Oh,
gets the
that's
phone.
right. She recorded that shit, didn't she?
Yeah.
Do you have
You
any
want?
of the video?
I do. You want to see it?
Oh God, yes. I mean, in a I'm sad for him way, but it's meaty stuff. Oh yeah, I remember this. She was kind of a bitch.
Dude, yeah.
Isn't she hammered too?
Oh, yeah. She says she wasn't, but she fucking was.
Look at that carpet. That just screams white trash or whatever trash. Trash.
For everything you've done to me. For everything you've done to me. Sarah. You.
Sarah.
Sarah.
I shouldn't say this.
You. Sarah. Stupid. Sarah. That's my name. Don't wear it up. Sarah. I can't breathe, babe. Seriously. Yeah, that's when you do when you choke me. Sarah. Sarah. Sarah.
Yeah. He
Sarah,
has
I
to.
can't breathe, babe. That's on you. Sarah, I can't breathe. It's on you. Sarah. Real ransom. Might want to get video for it extra. Because I got this. Sarah. Real ransom. Sarah.
Can't even understand.
Sarah, I can't breathe, babe. Oh. That's what Sarah. I feel like when you ching on me. Sarah. Please, Sarah. Yeah. You should probably shut up.
Shh. Shh. Okay, so as you can see,
Wow.
heckling. Now, after that, she decides she's going to go in the other room. She gets on the phone. She makes phone calls. She's talking to her friends, probably about the fucking dude in the suitcase. But no one ever came out and said that, but I'm just saying. Anyway, she goes, she has a phone call. She has a night phone call, and she goes to sleep. She's clearly drunk.
Oh, hammer time.
So, then the next morning she wakes up. It's like, oh shit. George, Jorge, whatever, is in the
Oh, I hope
suitcase.
it's not George.
It's George. Well, his
I can't
is
breathe.
Jorge, but you know,
Yeah.
Jorge, George. Well, we'll call him Jorge for that reason. Jorge, Jorge Torres. Jorge. She's like, oh
Was he
shit.
legal? Was he a
Jorge.
legal citizen?
Yeah, I think he was. There he
Oh
was.
my God.
So, she's like, oh God, Jorge's in the suitcase. I better zip that suitcase. And oh, he's dead. So I guess she like pulls him out the suitcase.
Why? You already had him in the device that you could have easily moved him from. She's a dumb woman.
So she gets him out the suitcase and maybe attempts CPR. I don't really know if she does or not. Maybe she pulled him out thinking like that he was just really asleep and she could just like drop him on the ground and then wake him up. I don't know, okay? But she does that and then instead of calling the cops, hey, Jorge dead, she calls her ex-husband
Brilliant.
because he's gonna help you. And this motherfucker comes over. She tells him on the phone, hey, I think Jorge's dead. So what does he say? Okay, I'll be right over. The fuck? Anyway, so then he gets over there and he's like, yeah, you really need to call the cops. Calls the police, da da da. So anyway, she's then questioned 100,000 times. She's starting to get pissed because this is just impeding her time and day and like, you know, she has better things to do. So you can just tell by watching her, she's just annoyed
Ugh.
and she just couldn't be bothered by this. Anyway, that's her attitude, but that's just take that out of it. So they go to court, right? Well, she gets arrested and she's charged with, murder. Well, then she's a difficult person, so she goes through 8 fucking public defenders. 8 public defenders. And finally, the judge was just like, you have clearly proven yourself to be to have forfeited the right of counsel, so you can just defend yourself.
Nice.
And so she's like, well, hold on, my trial's in 63 days. I have access to like a tablet. He's like, well, trial's in 63 days. It's kind of funny. But anyway, so she goes, defends herself, does not do a good job, I guess. I don't know, or maybe she did do a good job, but they definitely found her ass guilty of second-degree murder.
Sounds
So
like I'm not guilty. You're guilty.
you're guilty.
When you
You
show me.
fuck.
It's
You're
stupid.
guilty. You're guilty. So, okay. So that's
I hate entitled people, but I kind of love them because they're so stupid.
now hold on. That's like that's the bones of the case. Let's get some background information. So, what's her name? Fuck,
Boone.
Sarah Boone. I keep wanting to call her like something else. I don't know,
She
Bonnie or
was a
something.
waitress, I believe.
Well, Sarah and Jorge have a tumultuous past. I think they've been together for like 3 years or something. They have on record DV things, calls, cops called, cop calling, cops coming, cops writing reports, injuries documented on both ends of the spec. Like her, him, maybe more her. I don't know. And if there's at least a couple of cops getting called, there's way more of the shit happening without the cops getting called.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but it's the cycle of abuse. So, she goes back every time he fucking, wins her over, whatever. So there's that.
They think,
So,
it's all, but it's not always the men that are the violent
well,
ones.
hold on.
Like,
So it was her defense and that her defense was she was battered woman. And she even had
yeah,
like a psychiatrist testify to the fact that yeah, that she does have some sort of battered woman syndrome. She does not have personality disorder, whatever. So watching that video, because to me, I'm still like, okay, in what case she got charged with second degree murder? Second degree murder. In what world? Jorge wasn't a big dude. He was maybe like 5'8", smaller build.
hmm.
So he could fit in that suitcase. Now, in what world would your woman force you into a suitcase, a drunk woman at that, be able to force you into a suitcase, like a cloth one, like not even like a hard shell one, and be able to hold you down enough to zip that bitch closed without any
Oh, he was
struggle?
probably hammer timed.
Dude, I don't think she should have got convicted of second degree murder. I'm convinced that he got that. I think they were probably drinking because what she said was they were having a good day. They were drinking Chardonnay, doing some puzzlies, hanging out. I think that he probably fucking did voluntarily get in that suitcase because I thought it'd be funny. Have you ever, okay, one time my brother, like the hide a couch? Yeah,
No,
you
it's a
do.
Heidi
It's
couch.
it's like a couch, but it pulls out to a bed. Hide a
Oh,
couch.
okay. Hide a bed,
Yeah, whatever.
a
Hide a bed.
couch sofa, or
Couch,
a
a
sofa
couch
bed.
bed. Yeah, sofa bed. Dude, we didn't have no brothers. I had a brother. So maybe you did this to your sisters, but did you ever put your sister in the hide a bed?
Absolutely, not in the cushion under it, like plenty of air, all that.
Oh
Not
no,
like in
he
the.
like no, he shut me in the fucking hide bed one time. And he put me in the dryer one time, turned that bitch on. I could get out, but I wasn't in there frying.
Yeah, but you
But you know
also
what?
weren't hammered.
No, but I tell you what, if I was hammered and one of my friends was like, dude, get in the fucking hide bed. And I'd be like, okay. And I'd like, squish myself, like, okay, flip me up, fold me up. Dude, I'd do it. So I can imagine that world to where they're both hammered. They're like, a suitcase is out for whatever reason. They're like, dude, bet you can't fit in that suitcase. Dude, I bet you I could fit in
That's
the suitcase.
that. That's what I'm thinking exactly happened. And what probably happened? It probably wasn't even a planned murder. She just he probably said, "Now zip it up, bitch." Like just something
No,
not smart to say
no. I
when
think
you're.
I 100, this is my theory. I 100% think that that whole thing was innocent. He gets in the suitcase. Maybe she was, they were gonna, I don't know. But, and because she had to zip him up. That's my thing. It's like, if he didn't want to be, he would not have she couldn't have got that bitch zipped. Anyway, so she zips it up. They're probably laughing. They're probably like
That's
they're
what I
probably
think.
laughing. Both of them. And then, she probably pulled that phone out because it was funny at the time to get the video of Jorge in the suitcase. Huh? Look at this dumbass Jorge can fit in a suitcase. But like, have you ever just like been in a just a complete innocent moment, but just something triggers you that you don't even realize is a trigger, and you just get pissed? I think that's what
Sure. And
happened.
then if you throw,
Like she's just they're laughing, they're having a good time. She's, hi, you see you guys, I'm take this video of you, and then all of a sudden, she's just like he said, like when he said that I can't breathe, that just triggered her. Like, yeah, well, that's what I feel
maybe
like
that's a
when you fucking choke me. And I think she just like got so enraged, and that's like what kind of fueled that. Oh yeah, fuck
that
you.
is a really that is a very astute observation.
And then when he's like, let me out, she's like, fuck you. You need to shut the fuck up. Like, and then just like got pissed off, went to bed, probably did fall asleep at her
I'll
drunkenness.
bet she was probably even mimicking the things that he said when choking her. And for what it's worth, if you choke a woman as a guy, if I choke a woman, I kind of whatever I got coming. You know, if he hadn't choked her, she would have been triggered by the I can't breathe. You know what I mean? I'm not
Well, I
saying
think that,
he deserves to be dead.
right, but I think there's a difference between like, oh, you punch me, I'm gonna punch you, whatever. There's a different like and have been in an abusive relationship before. Like
How
I
badly
have
did you
been
hurt?
where this suitcase where Jorge has been. Like I have been Sarah, and having Jorge in the suit, I have been there. Just like been able to not stop what I'm doing because at that time, like I just had I had that one moment where I could just
Rage is an ugly monster.
rage, like where I could act on my rage, and I wouldn't get my ass kicked for it. And I've been there, so I get how that can just turn. Like, so
Yeah.
dude, and if that's true, if that is 100% true, if they actually, if there was domestic violence going on in that relationship, I that 1000% believe that that's probably exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And so who
100%.
cares? She might be like an entitled person. She might be annoyed at life. She might be, having better things to do than deal with this shit.
She
But like,
also probably didn't think he was going to die.
yeah, who the fuck thinks you're gonna die in a suitcase?
It is probably more it was probably not so much a loss of oxygen. It was probably more like a hyperventilation kind of
Yeah, so they
situation.
said that it was positional asphyxiation. So I guess he was like, to get in the suitcase, he had to like, get in suitcase position, which
Yeah.
is fetal position.
Yeah.
So that, and then, the rebreathing of, he got
Yeah.
hypercarbic,
Yeah. Yeah.
hypercapnia.
Yeah.
And therefore he got acidotic and then therefore he died. That's just how that
Yeah.
worked. They did say though that on his person he had injuries consistent with like a baseball bat. Now,
Ah.
again, after they like found these injuries, she was like, "Yeah, I hit him with that bat after he was in that suitcase."
Oh.
But again,
Like on the arms, on the legs, not
like,
on
well, I
the.
mean, he's like in the feet. Like she can't
Yeah.
like beat the shit out of him. She could hit what, and she probably didn't even know what she was hitting, but it was
Yeah.
his back.
Wow.
Um, but like again, I have been in that situation where you get that moment where you can like let that
Retaliate.
rage out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, if that's what happened, I can see her just being triggered, saying what the fuck she has to say, but her words aren't cutting it anymore. And she grabs that bat and she gives him a few fucking whacks before she throws the bat, walks off to the bedroom, fuck you, goes to bed. Get
Wow.
out yourself, bitch. Like I could yeah, I don't know.
That's why. That's why. I mean, this isn't why, but in a for a sense of safety, I carry a multi-tool all the time,
Yeah.
and my cell phone's never far. It sounds like just a comedy of errors. Like
Yeah, I
he
really think
probably
that
shouldn't have died. You
no,
know,
I don't think she meant to kill him. I don't think that was her
I don't
intention.
think she should get off scot free,
I
but
don't think she should get second degree
negligence,
murder. I think on like reckless homicide.
manslaughter.
Reckless homicide, maybe. I mean, that's a little bit worse than manslaughter, but not
Yeah.
second-degree murder.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. That I remember hearing that story, and I had actually heard the recording. That's why it came to me. I was like, "Oh my God, yeah, this chick was hammered. She was so
ham skied, ham boned, and then she wanted to say she wasn't even drunk. Bitch,
no."
I heard you talking.
I've
Those
been
don't
drunk.
sound sober
I know what
words.
drunk sounds like.
I know what drunk people sound like. That's it. That was it. So,
Like we did Toby Hana. We know what drunk sounds like.
yeah, we know what drunk folks sound like when they talk. And
Wow.
it's very hard to understand, just like you was, honey. So anyway,
Well,
so
now here's the interesting thing about it. Yeah, it had to be something positional because you could hear him clearly
mhm.
through the, and I doubt that he wasn't getting any oxygen. I
It was
just
just
think
a
that it was
confined
not sufficient.
space, and it
Yeah,
wasn't like it wasn't free flowing like you are in the air.
yeah. It's sad. A sad situation. Nobody should have died. Nobody should be in prison. They should both
Mhm.
just be living their blissful domestic violence lives still to this day.
Beating each other up,
Jesus
loving
Christ.
every minute of it.
Yeah,
So
I remember when I heard about it that he was like significantly smaller than her. He's just a tiny guy.
yeah, he's just like a yeah,
Five
or
eight.
yeah,
That's
like
not
he's
even a supermodel.
like yeah, that's like the size of me. Like he's not a big dude, but he wasn't like a small guy. He was just a normal sized person, like a regular
Yeah.
size human being. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, so let's get the next one I have on the list because I Tom kind of hinted at talking about that, so maybe we'll save it for next time. But anyway,
Okay. Oh,
so
okay.
yeah, the subway one.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next one, this is not a murder, but this is I think there's gonna be some shit coming out about it that's gonna be real plot twisty. Okay,
Hunter Biden's laptop.
very 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 similar. All right, so this cat, his name is Ryan Bogwart. I don't know. This guy back in August, he's like the kayaker that went missing, like the married dad of two, just seemingly vanishes, goes kayaking and doesn't come home. That happens. I guess. So, like right before like he had texted his wife like, "Hey, about to pull the kayak in or whatever. I'll be home soon." Doesn't show. So she gets worried. She calls him and is a missing person. So they go out and they do all the searching. They get dive teams in. There's one really like they're more
Underwater
like
drones, I think. Yeah.
no, they're like a famous like a charity dive. I don't want to call it charity, but like they aren't like a
Nonprofit.
yeah, but they're not like part of the police force. They're just their own entity dive team that have like special tactics that like police forces don't have. They do it on a volunteer basis. They were
Hmm.
out there diving for him. Like they went out there. They're like, dude, there is nobody in this lake. Wherever you're looking for this guy at, it ain't here. So, well,
The lake is like 3 feet deep at its deepest point, kind of thing. Yeah.
there's nobody in here. Found his phone, found the kayak, no Ryan. No remnants of Ryan. Nothing. So,
Why?
okay, well, I
What
don't know. You
happened
just
to him?
disappeared. Whoop, thin air. Aliens must have got him.
What a boob.
So, yeah. Well, during kind of like when the gosh, what is that dive team's name? Anyway, the tactical dive team came in was like, yeah, he ain't here, y'all. They had started to kind of think the same. They're like, we're gonna let them try, but we haven't found shit either. So they were looking at other possibilities, other angles of stuff. And they just kind of got his laptop. It's always on the laptop. Well, they found out that like a month before he was lost at kayaking, that he wiped his computer clean. But
Which is
it's
never,
it's
which
never
it's
it's
never
never
clean.
gone.
If you're using incognito to look at your porn, you're
It's
just giving
always there.
else the access to what porn you look at.
Yeah. You can't delete shit from a computer. Don't try.
So yeah,
Um,
don't be stupid.
don't. So they find that well, a couple months prior to this, he had reported his passport stolen or lost or whatever, but he got a replacement passport. And they had also found out that he had been talking to somebody in Uzbekistan,
Yeah,
wherever the fuck Uzbekistan is. Is that even a real country? I don't know.
it is. It is.
Anyway, so Uzbekistan, a woman in Uzbekistan, okay? So, but funny, like the day after Ryan goes missing, his passport is scanned in Canada. Huh, what a quickie dink. So he ain't dead, okay? Turns out what this guy did was he like, gets on the water of the kayak, has a John boat like stashed ready to go, fucking flips the kayak, gets in the John boat, then rows out to like a fucking like little like, what are those like bikes that you can rent? What are they called?
Yeah,
E-bikes?
e-bikes. Yeah,
Has an e-bike waiting at the shore. E-bikes at 70 miles to fucking Detroit. In Detroit gets on a bus to somewhere and then gets on another bus to Canada and then Canada gets on a plane to Uzbekistan or wherever the fuck he went. And he had also purchased um like airline gift cards, like Delta gift card cards to
yeah.
buy this ticket with. So they couldn't really track him.
Not immediately, but they're gonna do the
But they
credit card.
they saw that you got like fucking $8,000 worth of Delta gift cards, boo. The fuck? Anyway, so he's caught, he's busted. Now, apparently, because they know that he's talking to Uzbekistan girl, somehow, I don't know how, because I'm not a cop, but they figure out who Uzbekistan girl is. But they don't talk to her, they talk to a friend, and the friend convinces Uzbekistan girl or whatever, however that went, that they need a proof of life video from Ryan.
Yeah.
So Ryan gives them one.
Why?
I don't know. Like he's just like, "Hi, it's me." And like he is so there's no emotion to the face. He's just like, "Hi, it's me. I'm alive. I'm just here in my apartment. Hope hope this works," is what he said. Now, think about that. Hope this works. Click. That was it. Okay. And that's all we know so far. That's it. Okay. First of all, here's what's fishy about it. Beyond the fact that he did all this shit, because he did. I mean, clearly he planned. Oh, here's the other part. And it's always this. There was like a life insurance policy that was taken out in the January prior
Yeah.
so that he could fake his death. So somebody could. I mean, he couldn't claim it because he has to be dead. He can't claim it. So I mean, maybe his family could claim it. I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyway, so if that was all of the plan, if you were just like, fuck this life, I hate it, I'm gonna leave, but maybe I'll like, fake my death and let my kids have my life insurance because I'll be dead. Why the fuck would you give a proof of life video to like why would you do that?
That makes no
That's
sense.
that's like you just carried out this perfect murder of yourself. Why would you fucking ruin it? Why would you do that?
Well, my
That's so
question.
to me that's like there's got to be a reason. Like you could not have just done this and be like because if that was real, if that was a real like I mean it was real, it was really him, but if that was a sincere I'm gonna give you this proof of life video just so my family is assured that I'm alive and I'm safe, it probably would have gone something like this. Hi, my name is Ryan. It's today, time, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I did leave. I'm sorry. Um, I just, uh, I'm truly sorry. I'm not coming back. Please
Yeah.
forgive me.
And if he was in another country, likelihood that he was extradited. especially with Canada. um,
No, he's in Uzbekistan.
oh, he was?
Or,
Okay. Even less likely that he'd be extradited.
but here's the other thing. Extradited for what?
Uh, See, that's where I actually kind of sympathize. Like, did he bail on his life the right way? No. I'm not sure why people get imprisoned or arrested or prosecuted for leaving their life. Like,
They don't. It's not a crime.
sure,
Is it scummy? Yeah,
yeah,
not a crime. It's not a crime to leave your own life. It's not a crime to, I mean, he committed no crimes.
fair
If
enough.
if if anything, if anything, you could say that he obstruction of justice maybe, or
Insurance fraud.
tampering of evidence because he technically planted the cell phone, and that was, you know what I mean? But then you would have to prove in court that he knew the cops were going to be, or the dive teams were going to be looking for him. Yeah, you would have to prove that. Which
Intent to commit
intent to
insurance fraud might be a
maybe that, but
potential.
still, that's not an extraditable crime.
No, no, yeah, that's
Because
what I'm
they
saying.
probably had, honestly, I don't, it would be conspiracy to commit insurance fraud because I don't think at this time they've even claimed
Yeah, he
insurance.
would definitely not have been extradited. And I even I even sympathize with
Maybe
the
some
who got
restitution payments for all the fucking time or money that was spent looking for his ass.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, I can sympathize with the life has gotten too much. I'm gonna walk the earth vibe, but do it the right way. It just
But that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, if that was the case, I don't want this life anymore. Fuck it all. And you get to Uzbekistan having committed no crimes. You
yeah,
can't, there's nothing they can, even if they wanted to charge you with obstruction of justice, that's a misdemeanor. They're not going to extradite you for that. They can charge you the $40,000 in restitution fees when you're in Uzbekistan. They're not extraditing you for any of that.
yeah,
So you have made it over there. You have successfully left. Maybe you got busted, but you.
yeah,
So you have made it over there. You have successfully left. Maybe you got busted, but you still have committed no crimes.
yeah.
That's not the proof of life video you fucking put out. That is not it. Something's real fishy about this.
Do you think that he may have committed some crime, like that maybe leaving the wife and kids wasn't the intent, that it was guilt of something else?
I didn't think about that, but it could be.
That's interesting. Like I said, I this is it's a good story because it's for comedic factor, but it's really kind of a non-issue. It will disappear in time. We'll never hear about this come 5 years from now unless we find out that he did something horrific.
Well, have you ever seen that show? Like, I think it's called American Nightmare, where that couple, where she gets like abducted out of her bed
No.
and like, well, it's like a documentary. Anyway, so
Oh,
everyone,
yes, yes.
yeah, I think it's called American Nightmare.
And then the guy is like raping her, but
Yeah.
like, there's
And
this weird,
and then
like
when she just like comes home,
yeah,
he just like drops her off the corner or whatever. And then
yeah.
the cops are like, "You faked it." Da 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 da.
And then it turns
Like,
out she didn't, and it was all very elaborate. Yeah,
yeah. So
I did
so
watch that.
there was some like expert that was saying, maybe he did all that scumbag shit, but when he was talking to Uzbekistan girl, maybe Uzbekistan girl catfished his ass. Now he's over in Uzbekistan and actually in trouble now because that video gives fishy vibes to me.
Like she made him do it or coerced him into doing it.
And
That's
then gets over there and something's going on now. Like now he's like in Uzbekistan mafia. Like, I don't know. But
yeah,
or it's could be like a he has a fucking fat debt that's outstanding or something, you know?
yeah, yeah.
And
We'll
so
find out. I think this will get more interesting.
I think there's going to be
Yeah.
some twists coming.
It also, like, here's to his credit. And then I have another little thing that I want to go in on this. To his credit, he could have gone full on Chris Watts.
Could have.
Remember that guy, the guy
Yeah.
that killed his two kids and his wife? And that was a tragic story. That one breaks my heart.
Mm.
But he could have gone that route. He could have just
Could have.
shock and awe. But see, this is an interesting thing. I don't know if you get these texts from like strangers and they're like, hey,
No, I don't.
okay, well, allow me to explain them.
I know you sent them.
Yeah. Oh, the ones that I sent you today. I've learned to just mess with them. As you can see, it was pretty funny. But like you'll get these texts and it's like, hey, so are we getting together for lunch? And it's clearly a number that you don't recognize.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that these are coming from name your third world country.
Mm-hmm.
And they're asking, they'll ask, oh, can I get a picture of you? Because me and my Jason, who's been on the show before, we get them all the time, and we just mess with them.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk to them for a while, and then I'll be like, and have you heard of the glory of our Lord Jesus Christ? And then they stop talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it was something like that. Maybe because I've gotten them where like, I'll say something crass like, well, like with the one that I sent earlier, I'm like, seeing a set of boobs would make everything all right with me, and like they stop.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe somebody sends them the set of boobs, and then they catfish them that way, because we're living in that world where somebody can sit in a call bank and just get 50 numbers and text people until they get that old person or that person that meets all the criteria for them to scam. Who knows what's going on with this? I'm waiting for a crime to come out of those things because it's bound to happen. Because I get a text from
Yeah.
somebody I
Haven't
don't
you ever
know
seen the
every day.
show Catfish?
What's that?
Haven't you ever seen the show Catfish?
That show makes me cringe. It's awful. I don't even find it entertaining because it's kind of glorifying that whole thing.
You know what? Just this is
There's
a tangent. But
people out there.
The thing about Catfish is it's not even the person on the other side of that screen. It's you, bitch. Like, how did you not? I've come up with 7 red flags reading that message you just sent to Matt, Neven
What's that?
something. What's Neven? Who's the other guy?
Jason.
No, in the show Catfish.
Oh, I don't
I think
know.
it's Matt. I don't know, something with an M. Anyway, and Max, that's what it is. You just sent Neven Max this whole fucking 3-paragraph long story, and you didn't seem to find anything in there that was wrong with that. Like, how did you let that happen? But anyway, that's my thought.
It's ridiculous. It's a real problem, and it's going to get worse. But my thing is with these catfish people, 95% of the time, the person that's being catfished is vulnerable. They're lonely. They're desperate. Most of it's loneliness. Most of it's no love in their life. Somebody says a few words, and you don't. And when somebody's desperate enough, you don't even have to like really, really bullshit them. You just have to like read a script. With some of these, and like I said, Jason and I have actually gotten into the habit of responding to them and really like stringing them along, wasting their time. But they are relentless. Oh, you sound so nice. I'll bet you're very handsome. Can you send me a picture? Fuck no. Why am I going to send you a picture? You've already got my phone number. Whatever vitals you can get from my name, if you can track that to my phone number. No, I'm not giving you that, because then suddenly you've got a passport with my picture on it. It's a really, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have gotten scammed by these things. that never mention it because they're so embarrassed
Embarrassed,
because
yeah.
they're so sad.
Hmm.
They're
So
just
yeah, maybe it could be that, but I think, this guy's family is like, they want him to come back. Dude, if I was that wife, fuck that dude. Because if you, dude, you might have been able to get away with that shit if the whole country didn't know about it. Now you got
right.
everyone in this town, you got everyone in this country talking shit about you and me. No, 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 no. Don't ever come back. But no, they like want him to come back. The family wants him to come back. The friends want him to come back.
Yeah, it's got it. There's
Have
got
fun
it.
in Uzbekistan. Bye.
Well, you know
Oh,
what though? That may lean towards there's more to this story than
that's
we.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, what if the wife was on it the whole time and they just wanted that, there's people do fucking crazy shit for life insurance money, dude. And she
This
like knew
also
this
has,
shit was gonna,
you know,
there's some fishy shit with this, I think.
there also is a kind of a Gone Girl vibe to this. Did you ever see that movie?
Hmm.
There's a
I'm
real
just like,
Gone
why?
Girl.
You did it. You escaped. Yeah, they might think you're in Uzbekistan, but where the fuck's Uzbekistan? That country, what is that? They don't have phone there. They don't have internet connection.
Lack of knowledge of Uzbekistan. I mean, I
Like
don't know where it is, but I knew it was a country.
somewhere over there.
Stands. You know what? Uzbekistan is probably near China because I have somebody that I work with that's from there, and they're from one of the stands. So you're thinking like Middle Eastern generally, like
Hmm.
Turkey but
Well, Turkey's in
she's
Asia.
Asian looking. So I imagine it's one of the more
Mm,
Asian, Eastern European countries.
yeah.
But yeah, I until we know
Yeah,
the
like,
full
where in the world
story.
is Card? Dude, that's if I had got away with it, I'd be like, dude, where in the world is Card in San Diego? You ain't gonna find me. Where's Waldo, bitch?
Hell
Like,
no.
no, fuck your proof of life video. I'm gone.
The only reason I can't do it is I'm 6'2" and 220. You're gonna find me eventually. I better
Yeah,
go to
dude,
like Sweden or
I
Norway.
I would do like I would probably well, first of all, I'd go to Turkey and get myself a disguise. Like a fixed like some hair plugs, some like a mustache
Wear a
implanted
burqa.
maybe. Or a burqa, fuck it, yeah, dude, yeah. And then in like 5 years, send my kids a postcard when the shit's died down and it don't even matter anymore. But dude, I don't know. Something's weird about this.
Yeah, it does scream suspicious. Like he see, you say that it was a smart plan. I say that he shit the bed all over the place.
Yeah, but if he shit the bed, if he
Well,
made it all
no,
the way
like,
out
well,
there and shit the
this
bed,
is an e-bike. You don't think they have tracking shit on those things?
on what?
You don't think they knew you don't think they would be able to track him on the bike? Well, you did say that he went 70 miles, but you didn't imply whether they tracked the bike, which is probably what they did. They
Well, they
probably
did after the
yes.
fact. But they weren't look. That's not where they were looking first.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I mean, they wouldn't have to. I mean, so I don't know. But uh,
Yeah, he's a
uh,
dum dum. I don't think he should go to jail for it. I think he
well, he
should,
didn't commit. He didn't commit. He did not commit any crimes.
you
Maybe
know,
obstruction of justice.
in
He's a
this world,
scumbag.
you never know. Somebody will might try and do something, but it'll be debtor's crimes. It'll be stuff that if he doesn't pay it, then he goes to jail. But he's going to pay
Yeah,
some fines if
and
he
yeah,
comes
maybe
back
some
to the U.S.
restitution.
Yeah, if he comes
But
back. But he will probably come back. If everybody's willing to accept him back, they're certainly probably not going to kill him nationally speaking about wanting him to come back. So he's probably good. But yeah,
mm,
there might be some shady going on here.
yeah, there's
I'll
some
be
weird
interested
shit
to find
going
out.
on.
So what's our next story?
The next one is just a little shorty. Susan Smith. Do you remember this case?
The killed her kids in the car.
Yep. Drove
Yeah.
drove off a cliff or something.
I always get her mixed up with the other one that killed like her 6 kids in the bathtub.
Uh, hmm. There's another one that also killed her like kids, not in this that way,
She
but
drowned him
about
in the
there.
bathtub.
Yeah, but that was way after this.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so Susan Smith, when she was 23 years old, she was in a car driving and then like got out the car and it was still driving.
Supposedly.
Well, no, she'd admitted it.
I thought she pushed the car in the water though.
Oh, I don't. whatever. She either pushed it or was in
Yeah.
drive and she got out the car,
Yeah.
and it just kept going off a cliff to a lake, river, whatever it was, body of
She should
water.
die.
Kids strapped in the car seats, 2-year-olds, they're young children, drown. And then and she was 23 years old when she did this. So what's really sad about that is this is probably postpartum psychosis. And if we were just more vigilant about shit, these babies probably wouldn't have been dead. But anyway, so she admits actually pretty fairly quickly after the fact admit that she did it. And so she goes to jail. She gets I think concurrent life sentences with possibility of parole after 30 years. Well, it's 30 years, honey.
Jesus Christ.
So she applies for parole. She goes in front of the parole board. Her hearing was on Wednesday, the 20th, a week ago.
Yeah.
She is in there crying. It's waterworks. They denied her.
Yeah. They
They
what?
denied her parole.
Good.
Well, hold on though. But like I was saying, this was probably postpartum depression, psychosis.
If that's the reason, if that's
I mean, who the fuck, why, dude, why else would you do that? I mean, there are crazy people out there, but she doesn't really seem to be, she didn't have a history of being fucking psycho. She didn't have a history of any of that,
she
you
wasn't
know?
talking about demons or any weird shit
No, she
before
wasn't
that.
in like no, not like the girl, the chick, not like the chick that killed the
That
kids
yeah,
in the
that
bathtub.
one. Yeah,
Even
that
though
one.
I think
It
that
was
was
straight up
also some
bonkers.
postpartum
Yeah.
psychosis, but I think there was some other shit involved. This
Well,
was not this chick
I would say that's true, except that there were several children over different ages. So why didn't she do it before that?
because it builds. Because it's a little bit bad, and then it's
Yeah,
worse, and then it's worse, and then
but
it's worse.
postpartum doesn't build. Postpartum is an as it happens thing.
I don't know. Have you ever had postpartum depression? Because I have, and it's not
Yes,
fun.
I have, as a matter of fact, and I don't like you misgendering me.
Well, I've also never seen you pregnant, so
I I get it. Um, I don't. I have a very harsh judgment of people that kill children.
yeah.
Like even when you're insane, killing a children is a pretty hard thing to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, let me share a little story. So,
How many kids did you kill?
I killed zero children. Well, first of all, Susan Smith's kids, Susan, yeah, her kids were like, I think they're like 2 and 3 or 1 and 2. They're young children. They were like back to back. So, I mean, postpartum depression can last up to a year, average. So if they were back to back, and they say that if you have it, like if you have postpartum depression with the first one, you're very, very more susceptible to have it with the second one or subsequent ones. And if you're not over it
Sure, yeah,
yet,
I'm
it's
fully
it's
endorse
it's
that.
it's
Yeah.
just gonna add on. So
Yeah, but it's not like credit. This is what I'm getting at. It's not like if you didn't use up all your crazy on the first postpartum,
right. But
get
well,
more crazy
what
on the
I'm
second.
saying is the thoughts that you have during that time are not thoughts that you would have any, like, I had thoughts that I did not understand what the fuck was happening to me. I didn't think my brain was thinking these thoughts. I was like, what the fuck is happening? So luckily, when I went to my 6 week postpartum appointment that everyone has, my doctor just straight up asked me, she was like, hey, have you just questions? Have you had any weird thoughts about like harming your child? Any thoughts that maybe you would think that you wouldn't normally have
That's a
thought, but they
that's
just
a,
came out of
that's a
nowhere?
that's a straight up asked at every
Yeah,
postpartum
that's what
interview.
I'm saying. So just standard
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah.
In 1994, were there standard questions? Probably not, but so she asked me, and I was like, actually, yeah, I have. And I didn't even realize that I don't know. I just thought it was weird. You know how you have like fleeting thoughts, like,
Yeah.
oh, I wonder what would happen
Intrusive
if I
thought.
just drove into fucking traffic. You don't do
Yeah.
it, but you're just, so I kind of just, I was like, well, this is just like one of those fleeting thoughts. I would have such vivid, like they were like visions of me doing shit. And I'm just like, it's like a that's so Raven moment where you're just like, Like you have to snap out of it. But I never acted on it. But I told her about this one specific, vision-ish thing that I had. And she was
Mhm.
like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna write you a prescription for some Paxil or Prozac, sorry. I need you to take it. So
Yes.
I had to be on that for a year. But so I can understand where like if you were that like and it's psychosis is worse. Like this is just I just have
Yeah.
postpartum psychosis. I mean, and you can if when you start like living in those visions that you have, dude, I can see some like I could see getting out that car
I get it. I
when it's
get
still in
it.
drive. And because she admitted she did it like very, very quickly afterwards. She was like, dude, I did it.
You know what? To my fault, I just have issue when children are involved.
Yeah, no, I get it. I
I
get it. It's
mean,
just,
if it really was that, then from my I haven't said this in a while, but I'm a psych nurse. My
yeah.
perspective is that sure, if that was the case, and she is living in misery, and she, like if they examined her and found that she appears to be remorseful.
She's been remorseful the whole motherfucking
Okay,
30
well,
years,
here's the thing.
apparently.
Here's the thing, though. If they're gonna let her out, she should have to have monthly, if not bi-monthly, psychiatric, you know,
And see, a
therapy.
person like that, I think would comply with it because again, they don't have a history of psychiatric disorders.
And
It's
if and
just
if
the postpartum time.
and if she is for real, my heart actually goes out to her. It's kind of like the Redonda Vaught thing, you know?
Hmm.
It's I really feel for Redonda Vaught for what happened, but still somebody died, and whether she intended or not, you know, alert fatigue, all those things involved, still somebody died. Go get
Yeah.
somebody to help you. You know what I mean? And with
Hmm.
her, if she is truly remorseful, and you're saying she is, and you tend to believe her, I'm questionable. It's just my state of mind is kids, kids, kids,
Well,
and
that also too, and I get it. I get it's sad that kids died or anyone dies. I get that. But when you really when you think about the
oh, it's
justice
fucked up.
system is supposed to be like, prison is supposed to be a place where you can
Get better.
pay your debt back to
Yeah.
society and then be released into society and be reformed.
Yeah.
Not all, I don't know. The judge straight up said, you have life two congruent or whatever,
Consecutive.
concurrent life, no, they were concurrent.
Oh, they're
Concurrent
at
life
the same
sentences,
time.
and you can have parole after 30 years. Okay, so if the judge said that, and she's been a perfect fucking model prisoner. She's not done anything in prison. She's very remorseful. She's not had any like
Here's my thing. Did she write a
she's
memoir? Did she do interviews? Did
no,
she
I don't
write
think
a book?
so. I
No,
don't
but
know.
no, here's my
She may
thing.
have done interviews, but
Did she do things to repair where she could? Because she's not the only victim, even if she is innocent by reason of insanity.
mhm,
She's not the only victim. There's the father, there's the
mhm.
grandparents, there's the
No, I know.
cousins that, you know. So I don't know. I certainly understand where you're coming from, and
And she's not a danger to society. That's the other thing I'm trying to like. She's not out there just killing kids to kill kids. I mean,
no, I get
there was
that.
a
And you've
really
actually changed my opinion on this. You delivered it in a way that I can see. Um, that's a
like
tough
her
one.
rate of recidivism is probably like -3. Like she's probably not
Right.
going to reoffend
Until she does.
until
That's
she.
that's where
Yeah,
they
but
yeah.
again, if she killed him because she had a some kind of a mental like a schizophrenic
And
break, I could
and
see that.
allow
But
allow
that's
me to
not what it was.
allow me to pull from my repertoire of knowledge of psychiatric patients. Chances are, much like if you get diabetes while you're pregnant, you're
Hmm.
going to get diabetes later.
Hmm.
It's a lock. And if you get postpartum psychosis or depression, chances are you're going to have good old fashioned run of the mill, you know, homegrown depression or psychosis.
Well,
Like,
actually, just because you have gestational diabetes does not
um,
is
check
not you're not going to for sure get
knowledge on
diabetes.
that. I
It
have
might put you at a higher risk, but you're not for sure going to get it later in life.
right, but likelihood is strong. There's a strong. I read
Yeah,
something
but you want
like
to
this.
know what? If you like do the right things, if you don't eat cheeseburgers and fucking 18 pops a day, like you probably
Burgers
won't
are
get it.
fucking good.
Well, just like with her, if you take care of yourself, if you don't put yourself in situations where
Yeah, and that is
if you don't
that
go use
would
fucking drugs, if you don't if you stay
no,
if you go to your
and that
therapy, if you take
makes
your med.
sense. And if she does all those things, but if she is predisposed to psychotic breaks, she may have one later, and it might not even ever affect another person's life. She might run around in the mall with her top off, shaking her boobs. She might
Mhm.
do something benign, psychotic. But you see where I'm going. Like if you get a
Mhm.
kidney stone, the best what they say the best precursor to a kidney stone is your last kidney stone.
Mhm.
Like if you have one, you're gonna have again, like you said, maybe not, but generally speaking, you will. Um, you have opened my mind to
But although you might be right, I think when it's like postpartum situation because the chemistry is different because it's instead of like a chemical like a neurotransmitter imbalance, it's a hormonal imbalance that hormonal imbalance isn't present any other time in your life.
sure.
So,
And that's a huge thing too. I was actually talking with this guy out here at Patriots Pub and Grill, where I'm at in Fairfax, Virginia. Um, and we were talking about oh shit, I lost my train of thought. Oh, transitioning people. So female to male, it's interesting because generally, like the females to males have been shooting people up and all lately. The
mhm,
interesting thing about that is testosterone generally makes you feel fan freaking tastic. But when you throw hormones in to an already scattered brain, shit goes all right. And that's the interesting thing about it. Like, if I were to take testosterone, they do talk about testosterone rage, but that's like
that's like metabolic
over.
steroids, yeah.
Yeah, that's like hardcore. But testosterone in its normal state makes you feel fantastic. Done. There's no arguments, scientific proof, all that. But again, when you throw that in with uh with mental imbalance, whole nother animal. Um, yeah, I feel for and maybe the pregnancy caused that imbalance. Maybe she did have a predisposition to psychosis or depression or whatever, and the hormonal imbalance of the pregnancy is what sparked it. Like I said, who fucking cares what I think about it? This is just my opinion for our show for people who are listening. I I think I could turn the other cheek on this one, but again, kind of like with Redonda. Remember we were saying that sure if they're going to make her a nurse again, I wasn't opposed to them making a nurse again, but she would have to go through a gauntlet of sorts to
Hmm.
show that, and she probably would have done well. She
Probably
would,
not bedside.
right, or nurse advisor, case manager. There's 1,000 jobs she could do and still be a kind, giving person.
Research, all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
tons of stuff. But she would have to, and it's unfortunate because it was not completely her fault, but it was her fault. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, if she was willing to do those things, it would show the devotion to the job. And like sometimes things aren't fair, but they're just how they are. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
Hmm.
I hate the statement, but it
Yeah,
is
well,
what it
she
is.
served her time.
Yeah. So maybe let her go maybe let her go. Maybe do like a halfway house
And
thing.
yeah, that's what parole is. They don't just let you, well,
Yeah,
maybe they might. Fuck, here you
yeah.
go. There's an
Maybe
ankle
put
monitor.
her.
There's
Yeah,
a halfway house. There's a work release. There's a fucking sober living. Like there's some type of,
maybe even a restraining order. She can't come within 150 miles of a school. These are all things. If
well,
you want,
again, I don't think that, I think
I
honestly,
know.
honestly, I think that her being out might honestly just be more hurtful for her because she would see other kids.
Yeah,
And it would just make her sad. Because dude, I'm telling you, Zeus, I have the shit that I thought when I was going through the postpartum depression is so scary. It's so not even your brain. Like it's not even you.
it's like you're watching from
It's
outside.
like who what's happening? Like and you can't control it. It's crazy. And it is so bad that that's like one of the sole reasons why I never having another baby. And I was like, nope,
Yeah,
no.
I feel you.
Fuck that.
Until you do, I mean, I know you're,
Mm.
but that's yeah. Let her go. I agree. Let her go. Strict restraints, maybe even for the rest of her life. I would feel more comfortable with the rest of her life, but I feel you seem to have a level of understanding that I will never know.
Well, because also think of the good that she can do, because it's all about giving
Yeah,
back to
maybe
society,
speaking
right?
engagements, something like that.
She could be giving, she could be an advocate for postpartum depression. She could be an advocate for, shit like
That's
this.
a
She could do some good with this, I
That's a
think.
damn good point. Everything you're saying makes sense. I'm actually on team Sarah, right? Sarah Smith?
Susan.
Susan Smith. I'm on team Susan. I am the Redonda. I feel like you're the sum of all your experiences, not just the bad ones, not just the good ones. At one point in time, Hitler was an adorable little baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
Didn't turn out so good later, but you're some of everything that you do and that you experience. And if she has been remorseful, as you're saying, I honestly haven't. I probably followed it when it happened for a while, but then it faded into history,
hmm.
and now it's coming up, and I'm remembering it. Um, yeah, sure. Give her
And I
some.
mean, if she fucks up, you just put her back in. I mean,
Yeah, and that is it. It doesn't even have to be an "I told you so" moment. It's just
but they've let people out for work for less. I feel like, and that's the thing that kills me is like, dude, they have let people walk that have killed or hurt and like, yeah, she did. Yes, she killed some. It's two children. I get it.
were they, and they were twins.
I don't know. I think that they were just like very young children. I don't know exactly.
I thought you said two 2 year olds. That's why I
It was like
was.
a 2 and 3 year old or a 1 and 2 year
Okay,
old, or maybe they were
gotcha.
two, like one was like,
Well,
really
you know
two and one was
what?
newly two.
Having had two boys, and they're like 7 years apart. Man, that first year, and if they were that close, she got no breathing room. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe the collection of just not sleeping for a year and then getting knocked up and having another one, that may be
Yeah, the no sleep
the
on top of the
postpartum.
fucking
Yeah, the postpartum might have just been worse than just the crying, because that even once you get out of that lack of sleep zone, which is right around the 1 year or so, then you're into the no for everything. And whatever you
mm-hmm,
say, they say no, and that's draining.
throwing shit.
And I'm at 15, and I'm still disappointed with a lot of shitty stuff that happens. So yeah, I
Can
can
we all
feel
just go back to the point where we're eating puffs with our kids? Like, puff for you, puff for me.
right.
Yogurt drop for you, two yogurt drops for me.
Oh
It's so
boy.
good, so tasty.
Yeah. You know what? Based on my experience, maybe she's perfectly fine.
See, I could totally be a criminal defense lawyer.
Listen, and I didn't know this about you, about your postpartum depression. That's
Hmm.
that's a that's a spicy meatball. We'll have to dig into that.
I had a terrible pregnancy. I had a terrible postpartum time. No.
Did you ever have, and you don't have to say for the show, just say that you don't want to talk about it. Did you ever have any miscarriages or
Mm-mm.
anything like that?
No.
So
No, I was fucking fertile myrtle, bitch.
no. But what I'm saying is you never had an experience of childbirth outside of
No.
your son. Yeah, okay. So you wouldn't have known that you were gonna have like because I imagine with miscarriages something like that might happen or abortions. I wasn't even gonna ask you about that.
Mm-mm.
But I imagine in those situations that something like that could occur too.
Well, yeah, I mean, and
Your
back
body's
then,
building up for it, and then there's a dump.
right now, I mean, in today's world, you could, you're pregnant like on day 7, like, and they could have the technology to tell. Back when
Hmm.
I was growing up, not that it was that long ago, but like sometimes it might take a little bit before you could find out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if I ever had a miscarriage, I wouldn't know either way. So,
or or if you're predisposed to like really shitty pregnancies, you might have felt off or something. But anyway, yeah. This is what I'm liking about maybe it's this part of my life, but like with like who I voted for last time and who I voted for this time with
hmm
pride, you know
hmm
what I mean? I'm liking this where I can hear a story and I had a predisposition towards one thing and I'm not completely on board with her being out on the streets, but if certain parameters were set there for her,
which
and
there
like
would be. I mean, it's
there would
parole.
be, of course. So then, sure, fine. Everybody deserves their best shot at life.
Isn't that the point of
And
fucking
and, and here's the
dude?
thing.
And that's
Here's
what
the thing.
dude. That's what
She's
hold
never gonna have that anyway.
on.
She killed her own children, and if she truly was remorseful,
Yeah,
she's
that
the fact that
prison's not
she's
the
alive.
prison's
I'm
not the one
surprised.
punishing her. It's her damn self.
Exactly.
So I mean, whatever. So and you know what? This part this case. I mean, yeah. Again, she killed her kids. I get it, but this just kind of shows how broken and how really not giving a shit the prison system is. Because that's what they out there saying. Yes, prison is a place you go where you change and then you can come out a fucking brand
No,
new
it's not.
person.
They might as well have McDonald's in the fucking places.
I
It's
mean,
it's ludicrous.
it's not
Uh,
it's and
they're trying to
if
make it
that's
for
what they really if
justice.
that's what they really preach, if they wanted to practice what they preach, then they would have let her out on parole
Yeah.
because she's done nothing wrong. She's she
Well,
served her sentence. She not a day earlier did she try to fucking go for that parole board. Like she she was very remorseful. I mean, what the fuck? What do you got to say no to? She's not a danger to society.
I'm gonna have to look. I'm gonna have to look into this story. I'm interested in seeing how she appeared and all that. Do they have video
Oh
or
yeah, she's fucking waterworks the whole time.
okay?
It's like an hour and a half parole hearing, crying the whole time.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna look into it. We can definitely revisit it later. Um, so do we have any more stories that we want to talk about, or?
No, I think actually we'll save the other one for like I said, Tom was kind of
Yeah,
talking
I
about
think
it, so
Tom
I
wants to
think
talk
he
about
wants
and
to.
that's a juicy one.
That's a juicy one too, man, because for that trial is still going on. I think that he mm,
I think it's heading towards the end though. I think that's gonna be Tom's he'll set the show up for us. But yeah, I think that's going to be a really interesting one, and I'll be intrigued to see what the arguments are because you almost sounded like you don't necessarily feel that he's innocent in this.
oh no, I think he was just doing his fucking civic duty.
Yeah, I would have done the same thing. I would well, I probably wouldn't have choked somebody out. I probably would have beat him into submission, put my knee on their chest. Uh-oh.
Up.
Um, but
Mm.
I would have done something. I mean, that's and then we'll wrap things up. That's my thing is like you have Samaritan laws for like nurses. So like if we I'm a psych nurse,
Yes,
but we
this
come
case
up
100% should have fallen under the Good Samaritan law.
but it doesn't. It's only medical, I think, with Good Samaritan laws. It's only like life
No,
saving.
I think, well, I guess, yeah, it's life-saving,
Um,
not life-ending, huh? Huh.
right.
But I mean,
So
who's to say he
so
wasn't saving the lives of others? I don't
like there
know.
should be like a hero law or something like this. Clearly, the guy was stopping somebody from violent behavior. Oops, the guy died, but the guy was being violent. It's sad. The guy was schizophrenic, I believe. So yeah, it's sad, and I get it, but more lives could have been lost. Done. And I feel like they're in Good Samaritan. It should just fall under Good Samaritan, but like we're really covered. Like me being a psych nurse, if I go to a car accident and try and help, I'm scot free.
Right, but the Good
Unless you
Samaritan
do something retarded, you
well,
know.
so Good Samaritan laws actually is not for medical professionals. Fun fact, if you're a medical professional, you are legally obligated to stop and aid
Oh, okay.
care, aid
Okay,
assistance,
so
assist in, with your knowledge, you are legally obligated to do so. And
so
you
I
could
go
probably
to the
get in
car
trouble not.
accident. How do you feel about this accident?
Well, I mean,
How do you
you could
feel
do
about that
some,
steering wheel sticking through your chest?
well, maybe
All
maybe
right,
you could
I'm
just
done.
stand there. But I mean, yeah, like if you hold a nursing license, just like if you or held a physician license, you have to,
Offer help. They
yeah.
most likely I have offered help in like a fire engine ambulance situation once or
Mhm.
twice. I've had a couple people fall out in front of me, and those ones I've helped because nobody else was around. But it was mainly call 911, do
Yeah.
the normal
Or
shit.
you could help like
But
move shit, like move trees off things or
but I'm
whatever.
interested. What is the Good Samaritan law though?
So the Good Samaritan law is for non-license holding folks. So therefore you,
Non-medical people
yeah, so
providing
like if
medical. Okay.
let's just say I am just a regular Joe and I stumble across like this person in a car mangled and I'm like, "Oh no, I need to save them because they're hurt, I'm trying to do the right thing."
And then you
And I
pull them out
pull
and
them
you
out the
rip their lung.
car and I paralyze them because I
Yeah,
didn't realize that.
that makes sense.
So it's to protect the person from getting sued for trying to help you, but maybe it didn't
So I wonder
maybe
if that
cause harm.
means, like, so us being medical professionals, even if we're doing something that's outside of our scope of expertise, we're probably covered too because we're doing our best in providing assistance. We're probably, I think, even I don't even know what it would be, but I think that if I walked upon a situation, I would probably make better decisions just based on how our brains work as nurses.
Hmm.
Like I ADPI, which those of you out there don't know, that's assess, diagnose. Uh, what's
I
the
don't know what
P?
the fuck ad pie is.
You don't know what ADPI is?
No.
Shit. Well, for a later show. It's like a acronym for what we do, like assess, diagnose. Damn it. I is implement, and then fuck you, and then E is evaluate or
Mm-hmm.
reevaluate.
Mm.
But the P, what is it? Fuck. Anyway, I think we've been on long enough.
Okay.
It's about time we wrap things up.